Hopefully you're here because you want to learn how to play a song using the piano by pictures method. I'm going to walk that through with you today. First, we're going to go over how to find the notes on the keyboard. Second, we're going to learn how to read the right hand melody notes. Third, learn about the left hand chords that you'll need to play the songs with the method. And then finally, we'll learn about putting the two hands together, and I'll give you a couple of extra practice tips for things that I think have been helpful as students are starting out. We're going to be using Amazing Grace for this tutorial. So let's go ahead and get to it. To find and figure out what the note names are and where they go on the keyboard, we're going to look first at the keyboard diagram at the top of every song. Every song in the Piano by Pictures method and in the Academy have this keyboard diagram up here. And it's going to show us what all of the note names are on the piano. And do you see how C has this like purple dot around it? That's letting us know that this C is a landmark, going to be our middle C. So it's the C that's in the middle of the piano here. And the cue I'm using to figure out what it is I'm going to look for these two black notes, and that's going to lead me down to C. Go ahead and find all the C's on your piano really quick. There should be a bunch all over the place. So again, find a group of two black notes, and then there's C. So if you ever need a refresher though on what these notes are, we're going to have this keyboard diagram here for you so that you can remember which notes go where. Let's go ahead and look through the right hand. Woohoo! This is going to be our melody hand. It's going to teach us how to play the notes in the melodies. Now, again, we got to look for that purple C. That's going to tell us where on the keyboard we're supposed to put these notes. All of these C's that go across the line here from this middle C indicator are going to be middle C. So go ahead and find that again on the keyboard. You might be noticing that the melody note kind of like moves up and down. So if we go below middle C on the page, that means that that note is going to fall to the left of middle C. So anything that falls below, again, this middle C here is going to fall to the left on the keyboard. So here's middle C, and here's the G that we need for the first note. If we go above the staff here, that's going to be to the right on the keyboard. And so now what you're going to do is you're just going to read those notes in order from left to right. So you're going to play G, and then C, and then E, and then C, and then E. Now at this point you might be saying, okay, so now I know the note names, I know the hand to play them with, but what I'm not sure is about what finger I'm supposed to use. So what I recommend as you're starting out, if you're coming from a different piano method, sometimes they start you always thinking thumb on middle C. In this case, the only songs that you can play with that are maybe Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and Hot Cross Buns. Most songs don't start with thumb on middle C. So what I want you to do is just find whatever the lowest note is on the line and make that your thumb. So you can see on this example, I can scroll all the way across, and G is going to be the lowest note, so I know that that's going to be my thumb. And then you just go up from there. So do you see how a couple of these notes are highlighted like this? See how they've got like kind of the shading behind them? That's letting us know that these notes are long notes. So for example, Amazing Grace. Do you see how the notes that aren't highlighted are kind of short, and then the highlighted notes are longer? G, C, E, C, E. So that's the right hand. If you want more specific information about how to play Amazing Grace, go ahead and check out the Amazing Grace tutorial. Next, you're going to see that we've put the lyrics in, and that will help you also to figure out the rhythm. Now, we need to look at the left hand. Do you notice that below the lyrics, we have this chord bar here? You can see that there's a bunch of colors. We've got pink and then blue, and then pink, and then green. Each of those colors and the letters that start the color are going to let us know what chord we need to play underneath the notes in the right hand. So you can see here we have C, and then F, and then C, and then G. So those are the three chords that we need. And the beautiful thing about the Piano by Pictures method, guys, is that if you only know these three chords, there are so many songs that you can play. It really is a game changer for playing the piano. So now you're saying, okay, so now I know, maybe what the names of the chords are, but how in the world do I figure out where to find them on the piano? So what we're going to do is we're going to look down here at the chord pictures. These always come underneath the bar. Every chord is going to have a picture to go with it to show you exactly where to put your fingers on the piano to play the chords. So you can see that this one is the C chord. And now you might be saying, okay, well, what are these numbers doing? Well, let's back up and let's figure out where they're going to be relatively on the keyboard first. So again, this middle C anchor is going to come up everywhere, and it's showing us where middle C is in this diagram. And we can see that the chord is going to be to the left-hand side. So take your left hand and put it to the left side of middle C. Now here's where the numbers come in. Do you see how the left hand picture here has a couple of numbers? It's got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Those are just the finger numbers that we talk about. For both hands, thumb is always going to be 1. Thumb is king, so thumb is going to be 1, and we go out to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our pinky is going to be our 5th finger, and then it shows you on the chord diagram where that pinky is supposed to go. So your pinky for the C chord goes on C, and then our middle finger or our 3rd finger is going to go on E, and then our thumb or our 1st finger is going to go on G. That is how you're going to play and read the chord diagrams. Same thing for the F chord. And again, it's so important here to check out where that middle C indicator is over here. Now, my question for you is this going to be closer or further away from middle C than the C chord was? Well, because there's so much extra space here, we know that we need to move further to the left. So this is where we're going to play our F chord again. This is my middle C here. We're not going to play it right on top of middle C because that'll lead to traffic jams all over the place. So we need to make sure that this F chord goes all the way down to where we've shown it in the picture here. Okay? Same thing with the G chord. G chord is right next door. They're next door neighbors, F and G. So we've gone through the right hand, we've gone through the left hand. Now we need to talk about how to put them together. So go ahead and look at that chord bar one more time. You see the little green dot above? That's going to show you the right hand note that you need to play it with. So when we put the hands together, I'm going to look for, okay, there's the green dot, and what right hand note does it connect with? Oh, it connects with C. So that means that these two are played at the same time. We're kind of reading both at the same time and then reading left to right. So for Amazing Grace, I would play. So did you see how I played the G by itself? And the other thing to note here is that the gray bar is going to mean no chord. That's what NC means. And then the dot is red. So that is going to, all those things are trying to show you that there's nothing to play in the left hand for that first right hand note. So this guy kind of gets his solo. And then when we play the C in the right hand, that's when we come in with the left hand chord. And again, for your chords at first, we just want you to play all 3 notes, all 3 fingers, all at once. As we get further in the program, we'll teach you more about how to do left-hand patterns and to do more fancy things. But just for now, play the block chord, meaning just play all the notes all at the same time. Amazing grace, how sweet. So you can see that on the word sweet, that's where we need to change because we changed to that F chord there. And we can see that there's another right hand C above it that we need to play with it at the same time. So that's how you'll read the music and put the hands together. Well guys, thanks so much. I'm excited to see you guys play Amazing Grace for your level up here in just a little bit. Thanks everyone, bye.